Hey Fair Faces, I want to talk with you guys today a little bit about this whole Freelee thing. Freelee's mad at me. She hates me. You know, she probably would say she doesn't hate me, but she's saying that I'm not acting like a fan because I questioned her about Botox. I don't even know what my initial comment was. I didn't screenshot it. I didn't save it. I don't even know exactly what I said, but from the gist of it, it was just like, hey, can we hear your side about this Botox thing, please? She sent me some things back. Took some screenshots because, you know, honestly, anytime Freelee would even respond to me at all, I used to get so excited. Like, fangirl, huge crush, like all of that. So excited. And Freelee has probably responded more to me just today than she ever has before in her life. She actually DM'd me today. She says, that's really nice of you to put that public thanks. But obviously I don't want misinformation on my page because people get confused and then think it's Botox when it's not, which is exactly what I was wondering in the first place with my comment. I mean, I haven't chosen sides. Like I don't believe Harley like 100% or anything. But I will say that he's put out so much information and Freelee's put out so little information that it's really hard to not believe some of the things that he's saying. And that's exactly why, you know, I went on to Freelee's page, and this was on her Instagram, if I didn't say that already. And, you know, I just told her it was more of a question. She would respond to them and then still delete it. It was kind of weird. The thing is like she's misdirecting her anger at me and at other people. Because I have actually, a couple people had messaged me and posted on my Instagram saying, hey, you know, I'm pretty disappointed too. I noticed that you were saying this, like that happened to me too. And I was making all these claims, yada, yada, yada. It's not me that is spreading these claims. The way she said it is like I'm spreading shit on her page. And obviously accusing me of doing that is ridiculous because I was just asking her for clarification. And, you know, really asking only because I care and only because I'm not writing her off immediately. If I was going to write her off immediately, then I wouldn't even ask her about it. I would just believe her and write her at face value and then probably unfollow her or something like that. So, you know, she's on there talking to this Lily Jane 397. You need to pay attention. It's called Juvederm, which is totally different. And yes, I've done my research, and yes, it's cruelty free. And then she replies, not leaving comments, spreading misinformation on my post. To the others, thanks for the love and support, yada, yada, yada. And then she tells this Lily Jane girl, because Lily Jane says, who to believe. Freelee says, honestly, I couldn't care if you believe me or not. If you don't, then carry on. And obviously, again, she's misdirecting her hostility on her fans. And then I said, as a longtime fan, honestly, to delete my message of curiosity doesn't send the right message. And she said, well, this one she put straight to me, at Claryberry, well, act like a long-term fan and message me directly. Honestly, I guess I could have done that. Honestly, it didn't even cross my mind because the only reason I thought to even message her about it was the fact that I just saw her post come up. And I don't really use the direct message function ever. Like, I just don't use it. I forget that it's there. I could have direct messaged her about it, but also there's the fact that she claims to have all this transparency, and that's a huge part of her life, is this transparency factor. And obviously other fans, other people are asking the same questions that I have, so why wouldn't she want, if she was claiming that, you know, why wouldn't she want that? I just don't get it. So, but with the level of transparency you have always seemed to have, you would welcome the chance to answer a simple question publicly. No need to be so defensive, babe. And, you know, there was some more back and forth with some other girl, you know, trying to basically act like I don't have a right to ask questions. And then Freelee comes back later on in the day. She says, you're not acting like a real fan, that's for sure. I am not public property, which again, basically kind of what this other lady was saying. I'm not public property, therefore I do not need to answer to anyone about my private life. Have you ever thought beyond yourself to what I might be going through right now, or that maybe I'm prevented from talking about certain things right now? You can believe one person's story because that's all you have, but always believe there is definitely another side. And again, that is my point exactly. I'm just trying to get the other side. Again, if you are unable to say something, then just say that. You know, you don't need to start attacking your fans and deleting their comments when they're just wanting to know what's going on. I mean, again, to me, not acting like a fan would just be writing you off, unfollowing you, and never worrying about you again. The fact that I wanted to hear her story shows that I care about her and care about her side of the story. So why would you not want to tell it? Why would you get so defensive? It's like everything that she's doing here is making me believe Durian Ryder even more, because that's what people do. when they have nothing to say. They distract you with something else that you're doing. And they tell you, oh, no, look at you. Look at your problem. You're the problem, not me, yada, yada, yada. So I replied back. I don't know what I told her. Oh, something about I have been a fan for 3 years, but I've also been a fan of Durian Ryder. I'm well aware that you're not public property. I mean, duh. That's just silly and uber defensive. Anyway, I'm not the only fan of yours that is having questions, and if you're being prevented from saying things, then that would be helpful for your fans to know if you want them to continue to be fans. Obviously, she doesn't care if her fans remain fans of hers or not, because she's obviously backed into a corner. So it'd be helpful for your fans to know. Telling them you don't give a shit whether or not they believe you doesn't look great. Neither does anything else that she's doing at this point. I never said I believe anybody over anybody else. I was just looking for more information, and I have had others message me from my comments, and they are feeling the same way that I am. You're not public property, but you made your relationship and intricate details of your life public, and therefore people have invested in you. So it's funny that she's so willing to divulge just super, you know, I mean, she divulged stuff about sex, about her period. She divulges her health, her blood test. She divulges information about Durian Ryder and other family members, how she fucking takes a shit and when she pees and poops and everything like that. Like, if you can divulge all of that, then why wouldn't you, you know, be able to handle a question about, you know, about this? And as far as I know, she's never been one to delete comments from her YouTube or anywhere else. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but again, telling them you don't give a shit, just, it doesn't look good. And especially when I was just asking for more information, and to like accuse me of not being a fan just because I'm wanting more information doesn't, you know, and basically trying to make me feel bad, you know, for caring about her and caring about this movement and wanting information. Again, to try to put the focus on me is kind of classic move, you know, to divert it off her. You're not public property, but you made your relationship and intricate details of your life public, and therefore people have invested in you. They're processing this, and regardless of how far away they may be, there's going to be some emotions. Of course you have emotions, and of course I have considered that, but I also know that you're a boss bitch and a hard ass, and you can handle just about anything. I've stuck up for you guys so much over these past few years when people try to completely discredit you, and honestly, my reputation is also on the line if you are somebody who can't be trusted. That's the thing. Like, I stick up for her. I've shared so many things. I've based my you know, my online presence and some of my future, you know, based on things that she has said and things that I believe to be true because of her. And so to all of a sudden just be like, I don't fucking give a shit what you guys think. And, you know, it's basically just a big fuck you. And it also, again, it's just to just all of a sudden have this, you know, this thing that we are not allowed to ask her or whatever is just like, wow, you know, it's just very telling. If you're going to be a leader of a so-called community, then act like it and show some care for those who follow you. If you don't think anybody deserves an explanation and you don't care about what they think about the situation, then that says a lot about you, and I wouldn't expect people to remain fans of yours. That's all I'm saying. I, for one, would like to remain a fan. I took your side after I saw the initial videos from Chiang Mai where you're grilling him about steroids. However, even though I was very open and doing typo here. Even though I was very open to Durian Ryder about my skepticism and criticisms of him, I remain his fan. Just because someone critiques you or asks a question doesn't mean they're not your fan, and actually means they care enough about you to try to hear your side of the story. And that's all I was asking for. Again, I'm not the only fan who feels slighted because of the fact that their comments were deleted. So, again, why... I know she just felt like, oh, I was picking on her, but I'm not the one who made this shit up, and I'm not trying to like spread it around the web. Obviously, for her to spend her time, and again, this is more than she's ever talked to me directly before in the whole 3 years that I've been following her. You know, even for positive things that I've said to her, especially for positive things, I've gotten maybe 3 or 4 responses from her, and I've gotten that much today. It's just like, why would she spend her time even responding to me when... It's really good. Oh, that's so good. I know. Very good. Thai chili, where it's at. So anyway, why would she spend her time fighting with me over this and arguing back and forth with me over this when she could be responding to Durian Ryder and other people who are spreading much worse information about her much further places? If she's gonna quit, if she doesn't care about what anybody thinks, that's fine. You know, I was just trying to look out for her and show her, you know, how it looks from the other side. I wasn't trying to say, oh, I don't believe you, and, you know, I'm really sorry, Freelee, if you happen to be watching this, if you took it that way. I'm sorry if you were offended. I'm sorry if you think that I could have handled it in a different way. I have to say, you know, I I think I made the initial post this morning, and I just saw the videos last night, that one of the videos that Durian Rider had posted. So it was really fresh to me, you know, and maybe I could have handled things better. You probably could have too. I just want to say that just because, you know, you critique somebody doesn't necessarily mean you're not their fan, or you know, are trying to spread things around on the internet. And I honestly really don't appreciate being treated like that, because that's absolutely not what I was trying to do. And, you know, again, even if I go to Durian Rider's page and comment something on there like, wow, it looks this way, doesn't even necessarily mean that I'm not her fan. Like, I'm just having a fucking conversation about this situation. And I guarantee you there's more people out there who are having much worse conversations than I am. So don't lash out at the people who would otherwise be trying to help you, who want to hear your story, want to hear your side, who care about you and your side. It just, again, it doesn't make you look good. And I really hope to hear something from you soon that actually explains something, because it's just really awkward that you totally change your whole, you know, your whole basically outlook towards social media and act like, I'm not public property, so I don't need anything. Well, okay, that's cool. That's cool if that's how you want to play it. But I'm just saying it doesn't look good. So people are going to jump to their conclusions and are already jumping. I've seen more love on Durian Rider's page, honestly, in the past day or half a day since I've seen this stuff than I've seen on his page in a long time. People are responding to his apparent transparency, and people are questioning this. And again, I'm saying this not to put you on the spot, but to help you. Again, if you can't talk, if you've got some legal battle brewing, you know, then just say that, you know, just get somebody else to say that for you, something, you know, put it out there. Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbing. Just my 2 cents. I try not to get wrapped up in drama anymore, but this, you know, this is personal because, you know, when Durian Rider and Freelee first came off the Woodstock Fruit Festival, that is about the time that I got into veganism, and it, you know, that drama actually kind of helped to pull me into watching more videos. But it's you know, I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's like life changing for me or anything, but you know, we are invested whenever you know, I mean, people get emotionally invested in fictional characters, so it's natural that we would want to know details when you've already been giving us so many details of your life, and then all of a sudden to just pull that out and act like we don't deserve anything is just like really crazy, I think. I mean, again, if you need privacy, if you need time, if you need whatever, if you can't, just say that. Don't attack me because I'm asking a fucking question. Anyway, get the picture. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
So I just wanted to read the reply that I wrote her at the end, because I didn't include that. This happened after I filmed the video here, and this will be in response to the very last slide that you're going to see here. So I don't know, it may be confusing, but you may have to rewind or whatever. So I said, at Freelee Banana Girl, for the record, I didn't feel slighted until after you attacked me for spreading rumors that I am simply asking you about. You might be so upset you can't see what you're doing, but you're obviously misdirecting your hostility towards me. If you wanted breathing room, that's perfectly fine. You could have just said that in the first place. Once again, you're calling me not a real fan, so that's you drawing the line in the sand. And that's you making that choice, all because I came to you instead of jumping to conclusions and taking everything that Durian Rider said at face value. I definitely feel for you, and I, in my own way, have been trying to help. As I said before, if you needed space or time, then come out and say that. Real fans care about you, and they want to know how you're doing as well as what's on your mind. I think just about any response you could have given would have been better than attacking someone and saying they're not your fan just because they were curious about the truth. Again, and not to mention trying to say that, you know, accusing them of trying to spread rumors. Again, I am Durian Rider's fan too, and it's similar to in real life when you go through a breakup and you're trying to figure out whose side you're going to take, even though you don't really want to take sides in the first place. I was never trying to spread any rumors about you, and was only trying to hear your side of the story, and this is how I get treated. It's just disappointing, and honestly, I'm allowed to have my own feelings as well. I know you're obviously probably hurting a lot more than I am at this point, but I just have to say this does hurt. You might not have specifically claimed to be a leader in this community, but I'm pretty sure you said something to that effect a bunch of times, and regardless, it's kind of undeniable. Even you talk about the vegan community all the time and how much you've done for it, so much more than almost anybody else. This is not how leaders act, just saying. I wish you the best as well, and I wish this could have gone a lot differently, as I'm sure you do too. If the claim was something completely irrelevant to veganism, then I wouldn't have ever felt like I had a right or a reason to ask. But it is. It's kind of undeniable. I never meant to pry or upset you. And again, I feel like everything I've said is constructive criticism, and I'm really sorry that you feel that I'm not a true fan of yours, because I've honestly probably looked up to you more than anybody else in the past few years. And I know you never specifically asked for that or for me to stick up for you, but that is what real fans do. And I'm sorry that you don't appreciate that, or the fact that I cared enough to come to you for the truth rather than simply jump to my own conclusions.